good morning to you. Look, a drifting camera today. Let me just kind of bring it back up here. Back in. Different camera, different day, different glasses. Good morning to you. It's a Friday. Hope you're off to a good start. It may be one of those where I just have to because my camera keeps going down like that. Just got to go with it, right? It is a Friday, and we're certainly glad that you're spending a few minutes with us this morning. I'm Dan Gresham. This is my house. Glad to be in your house on this 14th day of August for 2020. And nobody is looking more forward to the weekend than this guy. I am ready for the weekend, ready to get it started. Not that I have anything particular planned, but I'm ready to get it started. I want to start our first thought this morning. This is kind of the way we start the at-home update, is just kind of a first thought, and then we'll get into the headlines, and then we'll finish up with something light this morning. But my first thought this morning, are there some roads that you just avoid like the plague? The roads that if you don't have to drive down it, you're not going to go there. I-10 can be that way for sure, but I ran across this and I was a little bit surprised. Check this out. Whoops, there we go. Check this out. Houston Chronicle, I-45 ranks as one of the most dangerous roads in the country. Now, if you're not familiar with I-45 coming out of Houston, south goes to Galveston, north goes to Dallas, right? And can be just a real nightmare, especially in the afternoon. If you are trying to get up to like the Woodlands or something, 4, 5, well, these days, 1, 2, it's still going to be problematic. It just is. And again, it says that it's ranked at number 1 on the list for most dangerous in Texas and one of the most dangerous highways in the world, according to Popular Mechanics. And you go on to read, it says, had 56.5 fatal accidents for every 100 miles of roadway. And the scariest part, they say, exists in Houston. A 14-year study recorded 288 crashes and 320 deaths on I-45. Many of the deaths attributed to drivers not obeying traffic laws, traffic and congestion, texting while driving, driving drunk, driving at high rates of speed, just some of the culprits. The article goes on to quote, in 2016, the United States estimated number of traffic deaths were 40,000. State of Texas made a large contribution to that. Not only did I-45 make the list, but so did US 83 and Route 175 in Dallas. So again, my opening question for you this morning, what is going on with the camera? Sorry about that. We're having to make do with some, and I don't know that I can bend down as low as the camera wants to go this morning. There we go. I'll get it working right. Give me a second. There we go. So anyway, shoot me a hello this morning. But as you do, tell me the road that you're least likely to drive or that you feel most uncomfortable on. And it doesn't have to be one here in Southeast Texas. Maybe it's a road, that you've run across someplace. I know for a fact, I can say it quietly because she's in the other room, my wife hates mountain roads. Anything that's got the curvy thing, never forget one of them, they call it the $1 Million Highway, I think, the one that runs from Durango north in Colorado, and it goes up through the mountains. Motorcyclists, we love it. I mean, it's terrific. Good riding, beautiful scenery, but it always seems like the passenger side is the side that's on the edge, right? So she does not like that one and she doesn't like, and I think a lot of people fall in the same boat. Do not like those that have the concrete barriers on the interstate where you feel like you're right up against the barrier or you're right up against an 18-wheeler, one or the other. All right, so again, this morning, if you want to weigh in, you know how to do that. It's just a Facebook contribution, or if you have something else you want to talk about, you can talk amongst yourselves. That's what we do in this community. Let's say good morning to Marie Jackson. Hi, Marie. Amber is up with us this morning. Joanne Tripp is here. Tabitha Marks, good morning to you over in Orangeville. Mary Thompson, good morning to you. Chase on, cool music, Dan. Well, thank you. Appreciate that, Chase on. Also, Tammy's here this morning along with Diane Smith and in. Billie Jean Hopkins is with us this morning. Hi. Christina Freeman, good morning to you. Mary Dotson, good morning to you as well. Larry Page, maybe time for this dinosaur to retire. I'm not sure which one you're talking about. This dinosaur? Maybe. What is the YouTube channel for him? Well, it's just Dan's at Home is the YouTube channel. And maybe you're right. Maybe it's time for a dinosaur to go off into the sunset this morning. Anyway, we'll take some more comments. Terry Dillinger, can't read this morning, is here with us. Tabitha Mark says, San Antonio roads are confusing. Would not argue that. I think that they are confusing. If you had to pick a city that you're least likely want to drive in, wouldn't Austin be pretty up to the top there? I mean, it seems like everywhere you go in Austin, it's a traffic jam waiting to happen. Hi, Mary. Robert, thanks for weighing in this morning as well. Joetta, good morning to you. Also, Gloria up with us this morning. Diane's checking in. Also, Daniel Wallace. Lumberton checking in. I hate 69 here in Mid-County. I especially in some parts of the day, sometimes of the day. Going north on 69 in the afternoon, I can't even imagine living in Lumberton and having that make that commute every day. What a problem that could be. Hi, Pat. Good morning to you. Hi, Jesse as well. Also this morning, Jesse Haynes, you're getting better with age. Been watching since I was little. Thanks so much. Good morning, Dad. I've been watching since I was a little growing up in Orange. I still follow Channel 6 News. I appreciate that. Carlene says, Colorado winding roads are scary. Only did it once. And Tom says, good morning again from Frankfort, Illinois. Good morning, Tom. All right, so we've gotten through some how-to-dos this morning. We'll continue to take a look at, who's checking in, where you're watching from, what's on your mind this morning. Post up in the comment section. Also, if you don't mind, give us a like, a follow. If you want to follow the page, that would be terrific too. Coming up today on a Friday edition of The Update, we're going to hit you with what's happening in the headlines, numbers of deaths up in the state of Texas. We'll also find out what a mess testing is here in the state of Texas now. And we will finish things off this morning, Eagle versus drone. Who wins that battle? All right. That's all coming up as we continue with a Friday update from Dan's house. Well, Ola, and again, good morning to you. Appreciate you getting up here on this Friday with us. Hang around a few minutes, and we'll get you completely up to date on what's happening in the headlines. In fact, let's do that. Let's just go straight away. See what's happening on KFDM.com this morning. We start things off. Here you go. I think the top story of the day for me probably, and many of you would also be the fact that the young man who is now accused of slamming into Beaumont police officers and killing one of them on Highway 69 has been charged. Not only has he been charged with intoxication manslaughter, he has also been moved from the hospital to the jail. And these are photographs of him being released. Having done this a long time, television news, television broadcasting, I think all of us become somewhat cynical when we read news stories. And certainly, it's like, you want justice for the person who has been harmed. And I always think about that. I mentioned this yesterday. I always think about that decision that somebody made that sends their life cascading in the wrong direction, which I would assume that's true for this 18-year-old young man. But I also always, and I guess it's because, you talk to so many family members that my first thoughts also go to the family of the police officer who was killed in the crash, and then also to the family of this young man and the things that they are going through. What a trial that must be, to see your son be put in this situation. Again, because of a decision that he made. but it's still something that creates hardship, not just on the person who made the decision, but also for the people who are, love that person or are part of his family. It's a hardship. There's no doubt about that. I think there's no way. You want to read a good book that kind of gets to the heart of that. I don't know if you're familiar with Damon West, but Damon is a friend of ours. And Damon grew up in Port Arthur, got into trouble after going to college, got out, started doing meth, wound up being busted for a bunch of burglaries in Dallas, did time in prison, 7 years in prison, and talked about what a hardship it was on his family. He knew how hard it was on him because he was in there, but he talks about how guilty he felt about what he had done to his parents and to the rest of his family and all the things that they had to go through. So again, thoughts going out this morning, thoughts and prayers going out to the family of the police officer, the one injured as well, the Fells family, as long as the Yarborough Powell family. Tomorrow is the funeral, but also going out again to the family of this young man whose life now, is in the hands of the court. Also this morning, if we go back over to KFDM.com, we're just days away from going back to school. And did you see this story that BISD is holding these restoration events for kids because suddenly they're like, we're short 5,000 students. Where'd they go? Beaumont School District encouraging parents and guardians to register their kids for school. But again, they've gone through an option period for people to declare, what it is they want their students to do. And you can see there's the online registration portal, and they can, all of the BISD students are going to be online learning for the first weeks. But they've said, we're 5,000 short from where we were when we ended the school year back in March. Where did those 5,000 go? Does that speak to the situation that a lot of people are in, that they're not committed yet. They want to see what's going to happen, how it's going to play out, what are going to be the safety steps that are taking place? Or is it just, okay, I'm mulling this over. Maybe I will, maybe I'm going to homeschool the kids. I just haven't decided yet what I want to do. You still have time to register in the BISD if you want to. I know in a lot of households, it's very confusing. Online learning. How's this going to work? How many hours are they going to have to sit in front, of a computer? Also, another big story, whether you're a sports fan or not, it is still a big story. And a lot of people will go, well, yeah, they shouldn't have ever even thought about playing sports. Other people are saying, this is so, why would they cancel it? But the reality is, decision made, Southland Conference Board of Directors, they are canceling all fall sports. Now, they are one of 15 conferences of their size in this country. They're the 14th of 15 who have made that decision that they are not going to do spring sports. Fall sports this year. And hopefully they will be able to play football, among other things. I think 17 sports would be played in the spring if they feel like they've got a better handle on the COVID situation. Do you look at this and wonder, okay, so what is it that high school football teams know to do better than college teams? Because I haven't seen any high school teams who have decided not to play. I'm just asking the question and leaving it there for you if you'd like to comment on it. Also this morning, while we're talking about stories, we probably need to talk about what's going on as far as the numbers. Here is Texas Tribune numbers. This morning, we have 6,879 Texans in the hospital. That's 1,423 less than a week ago. That's good, right? That's the way we want to be going. We just got a long way to go to get to where we need to be. 6,755 new cases. And according to the latest numbers, 9,289 Texans have died as of August the 13th. And we have had 255 more deaths reported yesterday and 1,486 more than we did a week ago. I want to hit this story and leave it to you to follow up on it. This is from Politico. And it says testing mess leaves Texas in the dark as cases spike. Texas drop in testing, part of the larger nationwide trend that's seen the average of number of corona tests falling since July. Why do you think that is? Why do you think that is? That, you see even though we see the number of deaths going up, then you see the number of tests going down. Interesting story. It's worth reading. It talks about how Governor Abbott is in a tough spot. Talks about how, at this point they feel like public health officials kind of crossways with government officials, which is leading to testing issues. Again, time for you to go dig in. I'm just going to offer up this story again. It's on Politico. Just if you'll Google testing mess leaves Texas in the dark, it should take you there. And then while we're on that subject, again, COVID-19 death toll rivals fatality rate during the 1918 flu, according to researchers. This is from the Houston Chronicle, where it says an increase in deaths in New York City during the early months rivals the death toll there during the peak of the 1918 flu pandemic. And now JAMA is also jumping in and doing it. H1N1 flu pandemic killed 50 million people a century ago. About 675,000 of them were in the United States. The current pandemic has claimed at least 745,000 lives worldwide, and I think the number is actually higher than 162,000 now in the United States. These are numbers that were kept by the Washington Post. Again, go jump in there, dig in, start reading these stories. You have time, Friday, the weekend, to kind of educate yourself so you have a better idea. Again, facts, not fear, right? And then I want to finish up this morning. Well, we can come back. Let's hit some more comments to see what's going on this morning. There we go. Jan says, Ferry Road, Bridge City, FM 1442, Bridge City. Bridge City is dangerous with drunk drivers that kill people and have often got away with it, but it's not over yet. Protests taking place today. Those above roads can be considered safe with individuals, and it goes on. I guess it says, yeah. And again, it's that idea that a lot of people who get on the road are there for the wrong reason and at the wrong time, right? And I understand what you're saying. And I asked what you thought were the dangerous roads. Jahara? If I mispronounce it, I apologize. But thank you for getting up. Una, good morning to you. From Austin, then you know what I'm talking about. If you're around, Mopac, anywhere in that area. Never a pleasant driving experience in my mind. Darlene Dorsey Pickens, good morning, my friend. Glad you're doing well there in San Antonio. Hope all the family is as well. Jeannie Foster, good morning from Viter. Friday means the weekend. Yes, it does. Joetta says, yes, it is the big story. I'm assuming she's talking about the passing of Sheena Yarborough Powell, who Mary Woffer says is in her prayers this morning. Also going on this morning, Maisha says 5,000 is a lot. We were talking about kids missing from enrollment in BISD. Yes, 5,000 certainly is a whole lot. Margie asked this morning, is FEMA going to help with unemployment in Texas? No, that's not what FEMA does to my best recollection as far as I know. So I don't think you're going to get anything from FEMA. If you get it's probably going to come in the form of stimulus. And unfortunately, at this point, apparently both houses of Congress have decided they'd rather take a vacation than finish up what's going on. And yeah, there's no way I don't think you can hammer out a deal if people aren't there, right? Diane Smith says the reason there are 5,000 kids missing, to her way of thinking, is that people are still scared to send their children to school. And that very well may be the case. All right. So we kind of caught up on some of your comments. You're welcome to keep following them. And as I say all the time, I will read them all. I can't read them all because there are a lot of them, but I promise that I will get to them. I'll look at them. I'll take a look at them. And also, if there's something that we can bring to the attention, then we'll certainly do that. Also, a like if you don't mind, a follow if you want to. But here's our final story of the morning. We're going to end it on a positive note, or at least an interesting note. Saw this one, CBS News. Bald eagle wins duel with state's $950 drone, sending it to the bottom of Lake Michigan. Apparently, Fish and Wildlife in Michigan, or what they call their Department of Environment, was apparently trying to map out a shoreline on Lake Michigan, and got into it with an eagle that tore the prop off of the drone and sent it into the lake. And that led me to this story. I had no idea. Did you know that they have trained eagles to be drone hunters? It's true. Police Department's newest Look at this. I think this is, it said Dutch police. For drones. And they've trained, watch this eagle. Hunter the bald eagle is the world's first bird trained to take down drones. By design, they're saying the eagles are perfect for it. So if you have a drone that flies into airspace, over an airport or whatever, they're using these eagles to take them down. They won't reveal exactly how they've trained them. This is CBS News and Jonathan Vigliotti. But they're very effective. And they say they're just natural born because they're predators. Their talons are tough. Because my first thought, I don't know about you, my first thought was, wouldn't that hurt the bird? But I think they're tougher than you think. But that's pretty spectacular that they're doing. As the man said, who knew? That requires daily training for at least a year. Pretty magnificent. Those things are huge. Just absolutely huge. All right. We have run the course of our morning. I'm ready for the weekend. I know that you probably are too. I'm going to get out of here, go do some things. Do yourself a favor. Take a break. Get away from thinking about all of these things, whether it's politics or COVID or social injustice or anything. Give yourself a pass. Take a weekend off. Just relax. Read a book. Watch a good movie. Go stare at the blue sky. Whatever. But give yourself a break. Get away from the anxiety that you might be putting upon yourself and just enjoy the weekend. Why not? That's my intention. We'll see if it happens. I'm going to lay some flooring is what I'm actually going to go do. But it'll be fun. I'm sure I'll enjoy it. But whatever you got planned for the weekend, again, make good use of your time. We'll look forward to seeing you again on Monday. Don't forget, if you want to catch up with the show in any other fashion, you're here at KFDM News. We try to do a daily update. We'll continue these as long as there's an interest. Also this morning on Twitter, you can follow me, Morning TV Dan, or if you want, you can also go to the YouTube page, which is Dan's at Home, and you can subscribe to the YouTube page, and we post all of our updates. And very soon, probably Monday, we'll start going live on our YouTube page as well. Again, I value your time. It is the currency that is most valuable to me, your time and my time. So enjoy it, make the most of it, and as I said, I'll look forward to seeing you on Monday. Don't forget, coming up at noon today on KFDM, an update on what's happening in the headlines, as well as 5:30, 6, 9, and 10. So you still have 4.5 hours worth of news coming up on KBTV and KFDM TV. The weekend. I am so ready. So until Monday, again, be safe, take care of yourself. We'll talk again soon.